The core of the show?
The core of the show. And I know that, you know, if we think about the wonderful times that we have with each other, not just as our characters, but really special times as people.
It wasn't here.
Thinking back to even the pilot.
Yeah, was right here.
Knots Landing somehow, in keeping their finger on the pulse of the time, changed with the time, and we were always the people over the back fence, so they could always identify with us.
There've been a lot of Karen and Val connected scenes and chit-chats and fun and pulling of sweaters and all of that. It's the center of a lot of the show. And okay, now lean.
What?
Pull back like you're skiing. Pull. Go. Back. There. God. Did the cleaner shrink it?
I don't know. It was a big sweater.
Well, have you gotten to be a big girl? I think that the audience found in the core characters people that came into their hearts and came into their homes once a week and became friends of theirs. And they feel that it's part of their own lives. You mean?
Yeah.
Get married?
It wasn't strange for me remarrying the same person 3 times because I was an actor doing a job, but I think if I had to do it in real life, somebody should cart me away.
I sat down next to this woman. She said, "Finally, you get to meet me." I said, "Well, I've never heard it put that way. So what do you mean?" She said, "You're in my living room every week. I know you. Now you're going to get to know me." You know, we identified with these people in the cul-de-sac. I know people like Mac and Karen. Karen? Oh, Karen.
I look back at some of the scenes now and just think how much fun that was. I guess fun is like the big word. Fun to play Abby.
Gotcha.
Sumner's one of the few men in television that's not a victim of anybody, that basically has to suffer the consequences of his actions, but basically does what he wants to do, which is a very healthy state to be in.
I thought I heard someone splashing around out here.
Well, why don't you join me?
Oh, I never swim in shark-infested waters.
I really grew up on the show. Knots Landing is a collection of wonderful memories and storyline with such heart that it grabbed such an enormous audience.
The answering machine went on, the VCR went on just in case the doorbell rang and I was going to be disturbed because I wasn't about to miss any part of it.
I believe I saw all 344 episodes.
Knots Landing has a very special place in my heart. I feel like I've growing up with these people as my neighbors.
I just have made a habit of reserving Thursday evening for Knots Landing.
I'd get my bowl of ice cream and I'd sit down and I'd watch Knots Landing.
I usually don't even trust my VCR to tape it. I will get home.
If we weren't in the bedroom, then we were in front of that tube watching that show. I hate to relate one to the other, but one was my favorite pastime and one would rate as my second favorite pastime.
Knots Landing is one of America's favorite nighttime serials. In the tradition of Peyton Place, Dallas, Dynasty, and Falcon Crest, Knots Landing completes its 14th year as the second longest-running primetime drama in television history.
He said, well, what do you want to do? I said, well, I want to do scenes from a marriage, you know, but with several families, but scenes of, and Michael said, all right, good idea, great idea. And I used to say for years, although this later changed, that characterized our working relationship, is I wanted to do art, and he wanted to do trash, and together we did television. Knots Landing was the show that we developed. About 4 married couples here. We took it into CBS, and they liked it, but they said, you know, for the first time out in the show like this, we should have something glitzier with a little more saga-like, you know. So we came up with Dallas.
We were looking for, I think, economic strata. We were looking for a young married couple.
We had the Gary and Val couple. Our solid couple was Sid and Karen. Laura and Richard were the couple in turmoil. Kenny and Ginger were the newlyweds.
We always saw Sid and Karen as being the core of the show, but then the actors bring a life to it. And they bring themselves to it, and then right away you begin seeing other riches, and you write to those strengths.
Sid dying, Don Murray leaving the show, was a shock to everybody, including the people who went to the refrigerator during the commercial. Came back and said, huh? We didn't often see the lead character of a series die.
Hey, what's the hurry? Slow down. The brakes are gone.
Would you just do what you know and I know has to be done?
Sid was paralyzed and insisted Karen allow him to undergo surgery to restore the use of his limbs.
But I swear to God, Sid, if anything happens to you...
The scene with him laying there with his arms open like that, I didn't read that he was leaving the show, so to me I assumed Stevie Hill definitely lived through surgery. So it was very, very upsetting.
I wasn't prepared for it. I think most viewers weren't prepared for that.
This was reality, this was life. It doesn't always work out.
When he died, I think that was, I mean, I cried so hard that night. I mean, it was like I couldn't believe it.
There are moments in life when you need no words. That's what Knots Landing did very well. They took poignant moments and they took out the dialogue. And you just take the trip down the hallway with Karen.
I was watching the show one night when they drove him off the cliff. And I was with my daughter, and I got up off the couch, and my daughter said, "Where you going, Dad?" And with a smile on my face, I said, "I just got a job." Karen and Mac were drawn together due to an unfortunate circumstance, and out of that, a love and respect grew, and that relationship developed.
We really dealt with each other on the show as people, almost as if we were a husband and wife. After a while, we behaved as if we were a husband and wife when we discussed things, right?
Yeah, I was the most married guy on earth. As far as exemplifying family values, I think Karen and Mac certainly did that.
Did thought ever cross your mind, you know?
Yes, it's crossed my mind. It's been crossing my mind since I was Michael's age, before I was his age. Let me ask you a question.
What?
Does it ever cross your mind?
My mind?
Yes, your mind. Wait a minute. No, come on. You see a young guy or a terrific-looking dude like myself. What's so funny? You know, I think that you think I don't love you.
I know you love me.
Oh,
What?
we've got to go upstairs.
Why?
Something's crossing my mind.
The essence of the Gary-Val relationship, in part, I think, is the longevity. You see, they went from 15, 16-year-old lovers, you know, all the way till this last final marriage. So Gary and Val are tied to each other. They are soul to soul. As long as finally they are together, that's when it's right, I think.
There was a scene where she's standing in front of the mirror in her wedding dress, and Gary appears out of the blue, and he's in white tie and tails. And we just kind of waltzed around. It was like two figures off a wedding cake, and it was very romantic, kind of tender. I'm going to miss playing this role with Joan greatly. You don't often get a chance to connect with somebody like this. And I'm going to miss that greatly. I can't look at her here, because if I look at her, I'm going to break out crying.
There are so many scenes, so Gary-Val scenes. There was, besides that one, the one on the beach where we were laughing on the beach.
Right, and we just laughed during that. We didn't say any of the dialogue.
Not really. We just kind of did the giggles, which I think is very real.
What a pair we are. You know we deserve each other.
I adored the storyline about Val's baby. That, to me, was the strongest, the strongest Knots Landing material for me, and I think in a large part for the show, because again, it was that ensemble effort of writing actors, everybody all together as one.
To me, the most interesting thing about the way we did that story was not the theft of the babies, but the response of Aline. That, to me, those are the great moments in Knots Landing, was that here's a woman that knows her babies are alive. She knows it with every fiber of her being.
I'm afraid that we lost the babies.
What?
I'm sorry. There was nothing we could do. They were stillborn.
But I saw them. I heard them cry.
I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry.
Karen McKenzie found me yesterday.
What?
I don't like the questions she asked.
How much does she know?
I don't know, but she hasn't got anything concrete. She's also been talking to the delivery room nurses. This must stop. Do you understand?
I didn't have anything to do with it.
Nevertheless, you'd better put a stop to it.
How can I?
Find a way. If I go down, you go down with me.
I had said something about to somebody who worked for me about, wouldn't it be great if those kids weren't around or something like that. And they took it to mean I wanted them out of the picture, and they stole the babies. And I didn't know anything about it. It wasn't my doing at all.
Tell them about the babies.
Karen, get in the car. We'll block him in. We got it. It's over, Jack.
Ackerman, it's over!
We'll be right back with Donna Mills and William Devane.
Unresolved until now.
Abby, I've been expecting you.
One last night to say goodbye.
Are you still sleeping with Greg?
Every morning, every night, twice on Saturdays.
When the loose ends get tied up on Knots next. The most lethal team on the force is back.
Came in, sometimes planned, that we planned for them to come in as a villain, or they came in as a character that we wanted to introduce in the family with no idea that they would be villains.
We were very wishy-washy.
But even when we thought that person's going to be a villain, we didn't ever want them to be known to our cul-de-sac people or to even our viewers as a villain.
Call me Chip. That's my name, Chip Robbins.
You know Danny, don't you?
No.
Jill, this is Gary Ewing. Gary Ewing, Jill Bennett.
Hi, nice to meet you. Greg, Governor Pierce Lawton.
Coach Abrams. Claudia Whitaker.
This is my associate, Ted Melcher.
Mr. Kenzie. Hi, I'm Jeff Cameron, the associate producer.
Hello, Vance.
Shut up. Shut up. I said shut up, and I mean shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up. I'll put the knife away if you just promise you won't scream.
I am as low as a snake's belly.
Well, maybe I like snakes.
Swallow, I can't without water. I can't.
Swim back to the shallow water before it's too late.
You understand?
What don't I understand?
Water! You don't understand water! Look at it down there! You don't understand how powerful it can be, what it can do.
If he said poison, poison it was. Why, they just sprinkle that all over their enemy's food. When I started working on this character, I thought to create a character that's just black and white doesn't work for me as an actress. I think it's much more fun when you can also laugh at what they do. I think one of the reasons that Abby was such a popular character was because she had a depth to her. She wasn't just a bitch. She would cheat in business, and she would cheat on her husband and things like that, but she never went over the top to be an evil character, and I think that kept her interesting.
No, I mean it, Abby. I just want an answer.
Well, I'm not saying we're having an affair, and I'm not saying we're not. I am saying I can have him anytime I want him. Now, I like my marriage. I assume you like yours. Our lovemaking has nothing to do with that. Because if I ever have to make a choice between love and money,
money's going to win every time. Simple enough?
Couldn't be simpler.
For years, you have lied and cheated and conned people, and you've gotten away with it. But I am not going to let you get away with this.
You're good. You really are. If I were rating you on the Abby scale, Abby being 10, you'd be a 6, which is very good considering your youth and ignorance.
Well, I don't judge things on the Abby scale, and neither does Greg.
Don't count on it.
So I started out very carefully trying to create a private persona and a public persona. I tried to create situations that only the audience saw. You know, it's the epitome of classic drama. It's Shakespeare, King Lear, Hamlet. Those are all great, huge family soap operas.
I'm sorry, Dad, you're right. You didn't do it. I did it to myself. I let you reach back from the grave and manipulate my life. I allowed Koblenz and his gang to pick me apart. I allowed it because I was weak. Because I wasn't mean enough, or hard enough, or cruel enough to hold them off. I wasn't a barbarian like my father. Well, Dad, congratulations. You have hatched a new breed of barbarian. A creature determined to surpass even you in creating his own world. Nothing's gonna stand in my way, not you, not anyone. I swear on your face, never to have a son that I might treat as brutally as you've treated your son.
I tried to build the character, and I think it was very successful. It was certainly very successful when I was involved with Constance McCashin, when I was actually married to her.
It was a very kind of convoluted situation, colored by the fact that I had just had a baby, that I didn't realize that this was going to be happening, and that I'd been doing the show for so long, and, you know, I don't think you're prepared for death in real life, and I certainly wasn't prepared for it on Knots Landing, so... And, this is for when she turns 3.
Whoa,
Huh?
wait a minute. Laura, I've heard of planning ahead, but this is really planning ahead.
Well, I have to plan ahead.
Why?
Because there's a lot of things I'm not going to be able to do with Meg. Don't get upset. I mean, if you get upset, I'm going to get upset. Okay? I'm sorry, please. Please, I really need your help. Look, I'm just going away for treatment, that's all.
You're going away to die.
It's a very good clinic.
Yeah, it must be a hell of a place if people go there to die. I want to be there.
I want to be alone. It's my choice.
It's not just your choice.
It is my choice.
Will you quit saying that? Your choice, your choice. What the hell am I? Nothing? A 0? I have a choice too, you know. And I choose to be there. You want me to imagine how you feel? Well, try to imagine how I feel when you say that I can't be there.
I just don't want you to watch me. It's that simple.
Laura made a videotaped last will and testament. Greg decided to watch his in private.
So actually, I really don't want to say goodbye. Just that I love you very, very much. And I'll see you later.
Maybe.
You left me in a bad spot, Red. I don't know what you're trying to tell me. Why'd you leave me all alone? I can't figure why you left me all alone. I love you. I hope I don't end up hating you.
In a moment, Nicolette Sheridan and Lisa Hartman share their Knots Landing memories.
Show was the episodes that we dealt with Olivia's drug problem. Abby, in the midst of her manipulations and maneuverings, business-wise and everything else, her daughter had a drug problem, and she had to deal with that.
Why, Olivia? Why? It's no big deal. Everybody does it. I'm not hooked or anything.
Give it to me.
Give you what?
Give it to me.
Give me your car keys. I have to have a car to get to school.
I told you I would not allow you to use drugs. You're not going to school. Give me your house keys, too.
What are you gonna do? Lock me out?
No, I'm not gonna lock you out. I'm gonna lock you in. With me. All right, give it to me. Give it to me.
I don't have anything.
Give it to me.
I don't have anything.
You stand over here.
Stop it!
Go to bed, Brian. You stand right there and don't you move. You think hiding when you're taking drugs is going to make any difference, Olivia? You think I'm not going to know?
I wasn't doing anything. I was just...
Olivia!
Give me the keys.
Olivia, stop.
Stop it! Give me the keys.
Olivia, just stop it.
Give me the keys.
Olivia!
Just give me the keys.
No! Olivia, what's wrong with you? Can't you see yourself? Can't you see what you've become?
Are you gonna give me the keys?
Look at him! Look at him! Look what you did to him! Your drugs mean that much to you, do they? They mean more than he does! Olivia!
The show was very wonderful for me because it gave me a kind of work as an actor that I'd never had. By that I mean a place to come for a period of time that would go on, and a group of actors who I really cherished, and this interesting character, Lily Mae Clemens.
You didn't recurl my preview curls, did you?
Oh, Mama, come on. Of course I didn't. Come here, look. Take up from here. See? Right there. They're perfect, aren't
good.
they? Yep.
Ooh. Contains no lie. I should hope not. Ask me no questions. I'll tell you no lie.
Mama, you are being silly.
Well, why shouldn't I be? This vibrant, glossy perm has gone to my head. good to hear you laugh again.
Come on, Mama, let's rinse you off. Come on, get over here.
I think Lily Mae tried to be a good mother, but I think originally when she had Joshua and Valine, she was too intent on being a professional country singer and having a career. So she abandoned them for quite a long time, and they had to sort of be on their own.
Let her go, son! Do you hear me? Let her go!
Don't interfere, Mama!
Do you hear me? Let her go! Don't do this terrible thing!
I will do what I think is right. This doesn't involve you.
You are nothing but a willful little boy. You've trampled on the feelings and lives of everyone who's ever loved you. You're cruel to your wife. Your own sister's afraid of you, and you lie to all of us.
Mama.
And the worst part is, the sad part is that I believed you. Every time you lied to me, I believed you because I loved you. Because you are my son, my flesh.
I am what you made me.
Oh, stop it! Stop blaming others for your faults. I don't care anymore. I don't care that I was a bad mother. Or that Jonathan beat you. I only care that you have become a monster. And you trample on everybody. You devour everything you touch.
Mama.
Don't call me Mama. I'm not your mother. No more Mama. You're not my son. How could I have given birth to anyone as cold, as cruel, as...
We really were there on that roof, and there was no doubt in my mind of how dangerous it was. We weren't on a studio floor imagining it. Lisa Hartman, who was playing Joshua's wife, was wonderful in that scene and very tortured.
Lisa Hartman portrayed C.G., a rock and roll singer who met an untimely death. Audience reaction to her absence was so strong, Lisa returned as a new character.
I was thunderstruck, by the fact that they wanted to pursue this and bring me back and all that. And I thought, well, I'm either going to go back and this is going to be real interesting and it's going to be a lot of fun, or they're going to laugh at me. And I met with the writers, and they're so terrific, and they came up with such an interesting storyline. I thought, I got to give this a shot. This will be great. We'll all go into this, and we'll make it work.
What are you doing?
This is what you wanted, right?
No, you're nothing like her.
What you wanted me for, isn't it?
Take that dress off.
You don't want a ranch hand.
That's all I want.
The only time you were ever interested in me,
Okay,
the only time you ever paid any
Cut it
attention
out.
to me was when you thought you could make me into thief.
No!
Look, if I'm wrong, you tell me I'm wrong. But I know you wanted me. I know you cared. If it wasn't CG you wanted...
It was you. Don't you understand anything? At first it was CG. You looked like her, but you're not her. CG's dead. And if you weren't so damn stupid, you'd know it's been you all along. Stupid.
The only other member of the cast to portray two characters was Stacy Galena, who played Greg Sumner's daughter and niece.
From day one when I first started, I was really nervous. I thought, oh gosh, I'm coming onto this long-running show, this nighttime soap. I thought they were going to be like real prima donnas, and they really were warm and welcoming from the beginning. And Bill Devane, like I said, was really like a father.
We did this scene where we were talking about sex, and he was really uncomfortable.
You sleep with so many women, there must be certain things that you really like.
I don't remember.
Do you like women to touch you?
And nobody ever touches me. Let's go feed the horses. Come on.
I was absolutely petrified that I had to do a strip croquet scene with the one and only Bill Devane.
Well, I thought it was the stupidest thing ever invented. Oh.
My point? What a cheat.
It's an article of clothing. Your rules. It wasn't vanity or anything. It just seemed to me like the stupidest thing,
Bill's got great legs.
You are so lucky.
Well, gosh, what do we play for now? I lose. Is that good or bad? It ended up being phenomenal, so it's beyond me, that scene, you know. I never had any faith in it whatsoever. If I was in charge, it would have never happened, you know. So, actors should never be in charge.
I don't know. It was the best croquet game I've ever had.
We'll be right back.
The next day, there were phone calls and telegrams from fans. You're not going to cheat on Karen, are you? You know, and don't cheat on Karen.
You're only with Mac now because I wasn't here when he met you. Now he feels obligated.
Mac is under no obligations, Anne.
The hell he isn't. Admit it. If Mac had to choose between the two of us, he'd never choose you. You with your little tract house, your little dead-end street, your little dead-end life, with your little outdoor barbecue grill and your kiss-the-cook apron. Oh, it all makes me sick.
Anne, I'm going to get off the phone right now. I think we've said about...
You want to know the truth? I'll tell you the truth. I never intended to die. I intended to bring Mac to his senses. I did it so that Mac would choose between us.
I never give a gift unless it's something that I like myself. You know that? And I love hot dogs, especially when they're charcoal barbecued. I'm gonna put your names in them. You know, Karen, I love our house. And listen, I love how quiet it is on our cul-de-sac.
Boy, I'll tell you something. I never got so much mail as I did when we showed this particular scene, what I call the Pollyanna scene in Knots Landing. It personified my character. It was Karen speaking the voice of the people, and I think she was just screaming it from the rooftops.
Yeah, well, check with me in about 50 years, Polly.
I am not a Pollyanna.
Ha!
Not now, not after what was done to me. And that's why I feel so angry.
What, that you're not a Pollyanna?
I want to be a Pollyanna. I don't want to look at the world through rose-colored glasses. I want the world to be rose-colored. I want people to be nice. People should be nice. Nice should be the norm. I hate it that I can't trust anyone. I hate it that I can't put my daughter on the front lawn by herself. I hate it that I have to lock my car and I have to worry about an alarm system in my house and I can't send cash in the mail. That's not the way it's supposed to be, Gary. I liked being a Pollyanna. I want to be a Pollyanna.
I think it would have been irresponsible for us to have done a show about middle-class Americans for 14 years and never reflected on the things that troubled them.
Maybe we went into issues of drug and alcohol abuse and child abuse and things like that, but we never did it in any kind of preachy way, I don't think.
I was sitting at a table with some friends of mine from the DAV, that's the Disabled American Veterans. And I'm walking back to the table, and I hear this voice say, "Hey, Kevin, good show." And I turn around, and I said, "Thank you." And this was one of the security guards. And I walked back, and I shook his hand, and he said, "Thanks for that show." And I thought, what show? He said, "Well, you and that boy, you know, in that relationship about child abuse. Your dad hit you."
You don't understand.
When I was 6 years old, I was running through the house, and I knocked over a lamp, and it broke. And my dad beat the hell out of me. He just didn't spank me. Hit me with his fist. Gave me 2 black eyes, Jason. I was 6 years old. I was 10. He came home and started kicking me in the stomach, and I didn't know why. I never found out. But I told myself that, well, he's just letting off steam. It's hard for me to say out loud that he abused me, and it was wrong, and he was wrong. And not to say that all makes it even worse, but Jason, you don't have to live the rest of your life denying it the way I have. All you have to do is tell me that you don't want to go in there. Tell me to take you someplace else, kid. Just tell me to take you someplace else. Take me someplace else. And this was one of the security guards. And he said, thanks for that show. I haven't hit my son since that. He said, thank you. He said, I didn't know any other way. So thanks for your help. So I took a breath and I said, well, thank you.
Stay tuned for the conclusion of the Knots Landing.
Something about the show is the roster of actors who have participated, including artists like Ava Gardner, Howard Duff, James Houghton, Kim Langford, John Plachette, Douglas Sheehan, Claudia Lanau, Victoria Ann Lewis, Red Buttons, Michael York, Felicity Waterman, Hunt Block, Larry Riley, Steve Shaw, Carlos Cantu, Lynn Moody, Paul Carafotes, Melinda Kulea, Betsy Palmer, Kent Masters King, Brianna Jeanette, Joe and Chris Cousins and Emily Ann Lloyd, Mark Haining and Zane Lasky, Penny Pizer, Lar Park Lincoln, Lorenzo Caciolanza, Joseph Gian, and Lance Guest.
I just hope people say, oh yeah, I remember that show. I liked it a lot. It was one of my favorite shows. I think that's all anybody can really ask for.
Knots Landing has meant a lot of work, a lot of rewards, a lot of satisfaction, a lot of pride, a lot of partnership. It's whatever it's given me a lot of it.
A tremendous learning and growth time. It was a real pleasure most all the time to work with the people that I got to work with there.
Paige has been a big part of my life, 7 years of my life, and for many months a year. And I think that I'm leaving her in a great place.
So I learned a lot there. I learned how to act on film, which is really important. I learned a lot about story. I learned a lot about the whole business of being a professional actor. So I wouldn't trade it for anything, I'll tell you that. It was great.
It did change my life. And how many actors have the chance to work for 9 years, let alone 9 minutes, in this business?
I've always been lucky to work with very good people, and this has been a blessing.
Some of the greatest relationships and friends that I know I have and will ever have in my life.
When I think about it, that it's very moving to me, and I feel very blessed by having done this show.
Quality television is something that we want and need. And I think we were a show that exemplified that quality. There was a little bit for everyone. And I was proud to be a part of that little bit.
And to get to know a really special group of people and get to know them heart and soul through marriages, funerals, birth and death. I mean, all of it. We've shared 14 years of our lives together, and that's invaluable.
It gave me so much, Knots Landing, that to sum it up in one little sentence would be difficult. It really changed my life in many ways.
And I had the joy of playing a character that I loved. I loved her. And she came to be a really good, lasting role model. I feel very privileged.
From day one, I've been at your side. From the beach scene that we did in the very first episode, and I said, I'm here by your side, always. And so, I whispered that to you, knowing that I wanted you to know that I was there on the other side of the camera for you. So, with that in mind, no, wait a minute. No, funny you should mention it here. This is from day one, because I said at the beach, because that was like the beginning, very beginning, literally was the first. But, so here's the shot. It says, Karen, by your side, always, Val. And that's from episode 1. And so anyway, there's your cup. You can be in your cup now.
I love it forever.
I love you too.